Lady Overflow here. Greetings, greetings, greetings. I'm sitting here with Kelly Shaw. I'm so excited. She is the playwright, the director of A Kept Woman. Kelly, I want to ask you a couple of questions this afternoon about this journey. What led you to this journey of writing this play?
Good question. What led me on this journey was, it's ironic because this isn't a journey that I set out to do. This was something that kind of fell in my lap. I've done plays before, but I've done plays like in churches, like in my church rather, I shouldn't say churches, in my church. And I've never, when I've come up with a play, I've never written it down. I always have this idea and I'll well, I can honestly say Lisa has been with me the longest. I'll come to Lisa and be like, Lisa, I got this idea for a play, will you be in it? And then I'll just go around the church, Dominique, will you be in it? And then I'll just tell them what I want, and then I'll just direct from there. I have never sat down and written a play. But as for A Kept Woman, what happened was, Kept Woman came from a conference idea. The Lord spoke in my spirit, because every year, if you follow my ministry, every year I do a conference, and the benefits from that conference goes to human trafficking, and every year that conference has a theme. And 2014, I did a conference called A Kept Woman, and I did some monologues as an introduction to my sermon. And what happened with that is it went over really, really well, and a lot of people really enjoyed the monologues, and they really got a lot out of the monologues and the conference itself. And I just felt like I was not done with that. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't know if I was actually going to do that same conference over again, but I just knew that I wasn't done with it. So then speed it up. Summer of 2016, for those of you that know me, I spend my morning time with God in the morning. I do devotional time in the morning. And I was walking, and all of a sudden the Lord spoke to me and said, do Kept Woman. So I'm like, okay, cool, where you want me to do what church? Because at the time, my husband, who is a pastor of Liberty Hill, kicked me out of the church because he said I needed to spread my wings and do events other places. So I was like, well, I had done something at Independence High School. I said, well, where do you want it at, Lord? Do you want it at the high school? Where do you want? And he was like, Martin Luther King. And I was like, Martin Luther King what? And he told me Martin Luther King Theater. And I was like, oh my, theater? I don't have a theater background. Are you know, I didn't say, of course I didn't say, are you crazy? But I'm tripping like, I don't have a theater background. But that's where he was leading me to do. He wanted me to do it in a play form. And I was like, oh wow, so yeah, that's how my journey got started. And the thing about it is, even during my auditions and up into my first rehearsal, I still had not wrote a script. I had an idea of what I wanted to do and how I wanted the monologues to go. I just didn't have it written down in the script. I waited until I actually had the cast and I seen what their personalities was like, and I wrote the script that would be best for that particular character, and for that, well, not that character, for that person. And a lot of that's in this script is a lot of my life woven in it, along with other people's stories that I've heard along the way, whether it was people that I counseled. It was situations where I used to do a talk show called Conversations with Kelly. You remember that? You were a guest on there.
Yes.
And I just used real life stories of different people along with my own. And I just wrote the script to fit that particular person who I felt like would deliver that narrative on the bigger stage.
Good. Now you mentioned Martin Luther King.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk about exactly the date and the venue as we move forward with this interview. The date of the play is?
The date of the play is September 30th, 2017, this year at 8 p.m.
And the venue is?
The Martin Luther King Center. It's the Python Theater, and that's at 867 Mount Vernon Avenue.
Now, if people are interested in getting tickets, because we're going to keep giving them this information all through this interview, how can they get tickets?
Actually, you can go to www.itickets, that's with a S, itickets.com, or if you're on Facebook, you can actually go to A Kept Woman event page, and it's ticket information there as well, and also a phone number is included in case if any people was like me. Sometimes I'm a little scared about using my credit card online. If you want to call to get tickets, you can do that also.
So who is the target audience for this kept woman?
The target audience is basically it's from ages from 18 to 70 or 80. It's not just for women, it's for all people, because a lot of people think A Kept Woman is a women's play. Although it's a all women's cast, I believe that men can benefit from it because it would help a husband, a father, get a better understanding of who their daughter, their wife, their girlfriend is. So I believe that the audience is for anybody that has a daughter, a wife. It is for mothers, it is for wives, it is for your best friend. It can be for anybody.
Good. Now, who will benefit from this play?
I believe that all that I named, like I said, women will benefit because we're raising real life issues. We're talking about relevant issues today. Like a lot of us, especially in the Black community, we do not talk about depression. We kind of keep that hidden. We don't talk about post-traumatic stress. We do talk about, we're starting to talk about molestation and things like that, drugs and things like that, but some of the topics we haven't been really hitting. Alzheimer's, how to deal with a family member that has Alzheimer's, because that can be a tough situation to deal with. Whether making the decisions, should I put mommy or daddy in a nursing home? And again, with depression, whether we need, people that are on medication, post-traumatic stress from some kind of traumatic event that you might have went through, whether it was a car accident, or right now hurricanes are going on. A lot of things that are going on that bring on these issues, and these things kind of affect people not just for a week or two. This is something that I have been noticing that has been going on for a long time with people. People have been dealing with this, and they've had to deal with it behind closed doors privately in isolation.
That's good. Now, as I sit here not only with the director, but with some of the cast and the staff, I want to open up the questions to some of them. What has been some of your defining moments as you walk through this journey with this director, Kelly Shaw?
Oh, be nice.
I'll go.
Okay.
I would probably say a defining moment is seeing, being there from day one and seeing us go from auditions to now they're starting to learn the script to now seeing them really evolve and take on the character. I believe that would be a defining moment or defining moments for me.
Okay, good. Who else?
I would say piggybacking off of what Tim said, definitely going from feeling like I could barely speak in front of people, period, to now going into complete character where I feel comfortable. That was a major defining moment for me because I definitely didn't even think that it was in me, but Kelly did. So she kind of pushed me into that space, and I appreciate that.
Okay, good. Who else wants to share?
Well, for me, one thing that I remember that Kelly told me years ago is that if I want to be healed, I have to be honest and be honest with myself. So being a part of this cast helped me be honest with myself and honest with a lot of challenges that I dealt with in the past and a lot of challenges that I still have.
And piggybacking off of your response, has healing taken place in other areas of your life because you begin to identify something that you got into character with?
Yes, healing has taken place in a lot of areas. Still a work in progress, still healing, still working on some things, but this opportunity has allowed me to face my challenges and not keep them stuffed in a box.
And I don't know about you, but there's a lot of people in the world that have come accustomed to stuffing their feelings in a box and looking for an outlet for a release. So that's good. That's good. Who else wants to share? I've been waiting
I'll
on
share
Lisa.
a defining moment for me.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that Dominique is my niece, and I tried to get Dominique to audition for this play. And she was like, no, 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 because I've had her, she's done stuff at the church. No, no, no. And a defining moment for me was when I had a person that had to drop out. And I was like, oh my goodness, what are we gonna do? I'm talking to Kristen like, you know, she dropped out, I don't have nobody else to take her place, what are we gonna do? Should we mark her out, whatever? And my niece came up, and for people that know her, Dominique is very laid back and shy. She came up to me and she was like, where the script? And I was like, to what? She's like, to, what was it first, the distrust one? For post-traumatic stress. And I was like, you want that? She's like, yeah. So I think she came to me on a Wednesday at Bible study, and then we had rehearsal that next Saturday, and she jumped into character, and I was like, whoa, shoot, where'd that come from? And that was a very defining moment for me, because I seen my niece, well, I'll say Dominique, I seen Dominique come from some places that I didn't even know she had in her. I mean, I'm talking about somebody that's quiet, don't bother nobody. Her character, she just jumped in that character and she owned it. And not only that, I had another somebody that dropped out, and Dominique was like, well, I can do that one too. So Dominique actually is playing two characters. She's doing 2 different characters, and so far she has not mixed them together.
Right.
So that was a defining moment. And also another defining moment was Devonna Gordon. I have to get used to not saying Johnson. This has been my friend for years. She used to beat up people for me when I couldn't beat them up. She joined the cast late, and she was actually the last one to join the cast. And I ran into her at the pizza shop, and I was like, wow. And I called, me and her exchanged that, we talked Facebook or something, and I was like, I got this character I think you will be good for. And she was like, oh, okay. So she came aboard, and just seeing her evolve, especially without an acting background, to see her evolve has been very defining moment that I would like to share about. But overall, I mean, I can say so much about all the cast. Now, Lisa, this is, I call her ancient because she's been with me the longest, but everything that I have put in front of Lisa, she has nailed it. There has never been a character that I have put in front of Lisa and had her it's never been a challenge for her. She's always just asked me what I wanted, and she's always delivered what I want. Now, speaking of Tiffany, me and Tiffany work together, and I see so much in Tiffany. I see so much, and Tiffany allows me to challenge her and bring it out. I know sometimes she be wanting to run from me, hide from me, but there is so much in her that is yet to come out of her. Not only is she part of the cast, she's a fresh author of The Bag Lady. I'm sure you've seen her books around. You need to buy it. And then we have Jennifer. She joined the cast a little bit late too. She came aboard right before Devonna. I actually interviewed Jennifer on my talk show Conversations with Kelly, and we talked about Alzheimer's. Actually, the character that she's playing is, she's sharing a lot of her character is a lot of her real life story mixed a little bit with some others. And then we have, who is not present today, my mother-in-law is part of the cast. And I was very, very shocked of my mother-in-law's acting ability. She has some acting background, but when she first
May I
came
have your
up,
attention,
she
please?
really...
The library will be closing in 15 minutes. All computers shut down at 5 o'clock. If you need to print any documents, please do so now. Thank you.
You're welcome. But back to what I was saying, my mother-in-law joined the cast, and she jumped into character, and I'm telling you, if you want somebody to turn on some tears, she can cry like this. I was really, really shocked to see how she can, whatever, even in her audition, she played, what was it she auditioned like? Was it a crazy woman? No, was she Alzheimer's woman?
No.
It was some kind of nursing home character where she was forgetful or something. I mean, everything that we threw at her in audition, she was able to nail it. So, and then Tiffany, who is not here, actually my daughter Brittany filled in for her today. Tiffany also, she has acting background, and she joined the cast, and she nailed her character as well. So the whole entire cast has been a defining moment for me. It's been a great pleasure to watch you guys own the character, for me to cast my vision and you guys to embrace that vision and walk it out.
And I was really impressed today. Not only did I see little glimpses of a rehearsal, but I got to see Kelly Shaw in another role myself as director. And I was really proud to see how she's moving out in the things that she's been called to do and exercising these talents and bringing other people alongside of her. So I'm really excited and proud of what God is doing in her life. And once again, we want to make sure that you know how to get tickets for this major event in Columbus, Ohio on, what's the date again?
September 30th, almost forget. September 30th, 2017, which is in about 3 weeks. It'll be at the Martin Luther King Center in the Python Theater, and that's 867 Mount Vernon Avenue. You can get tickets at www.itickets.com, or you can visit the event page on Facebook, A Kept Woman.
We want to thank you for joining in today, and keep checking out our Facebook page, Kept Woman event page. Is that
The event page is A Kept Woman.
right? Or else you can also go to Kelly Shaw Ministries.
There's a Kelly Shaw Ministry page, and also my website is now
Yes.
kellyshaw.info. And you can keep up with everything that Kelly Shaw Ministries is doing on that website. And also, before we wrap things up, there's a lot, besides being cast members, there's a lot of things going on with different people. They have other things that they're doing, like Meshach. He is the owner of M Hair Sessions at Salon Loft in Gahanna. Tim has a t-shirt line coming out, and Tiffany is an author of The Bag Lady. Dominique, her stage name for her poetry is D. Nicole. She does poetry, and Lisa is with me. She just be acting, whatever. Lisa just is an actress. She is always in character, no matter what. You can see her on the street and she in character. And then Devonna, she has a lot of things going on with her. She's still a newlywed, right?
Yes.
Still a newlywed. Hey, praise the Lord, she's back. She was almost caught up with old Irma. Is it Irma or Irma? Irma tried to play a little trick on her, tried to hem her up in Florida, but she got in a car. Sometimes, let me pause right now. Sometimes we can be in situations where we be met with obstacles, and when her flight closed down, she didn't look around and was just pitiful. You know what she did? She said, let me go try to rent me a car. She got up out of there. It took you how many hours to get home?
36 hours.
36 hours, but she made it. And sometimes when you're on your life journey and you're met with an obstacle, sometimes you just need to look a different way, because there's always a way out. My bad. And Kristen is a part of my team also. Actually, my team is Meshach, Tim, Dominique is cast and team, and then Kristen is part of my team. Kristen is my assistant. She keeps me organized completely, because she know I'm messy and I don't be having to know anything that's going on. She keeps me organized. And then Jennifer is an author of a children's book called The Day That I Tasted Sushi. So, well, she didn't want to be mentioned.
So with that, we want to thank not only this playwright and this director, but this cast and this staff for this interview. And remember, can we say it all together? A kept
woman.
Everyone.